Hello and good day, and welcome to another midday edition of the Daily Fix. I am your usual host and presenter, Advocate Tulo Hoyane. Today I'm also with Longa again, like I was yesterday. Longwe Twala, you'll recall, broke into his father's house last year and stole studio equipment to the value of 200,000. Longwe Twala was then sent to jail, and this is a Johannesburg prison. He then went to jail, and at a later stage, he violated his bail conditions rather, and he had to explain his absence why he had not reported to court. He gave an explanation that he had given information to his aunt to tell the authorities, however he had to tell, that he was not feeling well. The court believed that story, and on the 9th of December last year, Longa Twala was released on very strange conditions. Let me just read you some of the bail conditions here. He's under house arrest between the hours of 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. and he should be in Deep Kloof, Soweto. He is forbidden to use drugs and alcohol. Thirdly, he must not interfere with witnesses directly or indirectly. Fourthly, he should not enter the complainant's home or work address until the trial is finalized. And finally, that he can be trusted for drugs and alcohol at any given time. Those are the bail conditions that Longwe Twala has to strictly observe. Otherwise, his bail will be revoked. In a situation like this, the court will give you conditions if it was convinced with his story about his absence. The court will release you on certain conditions, like the conditions that I've just read to you relating to Longwe Twala. And if you contravene any one of those conditions, a warrant of arrest will immediately be issued and you can be arrested by the police. The whole process is so summary that you'll be arrested by the police. Let us say a day or two later, you'll appear before a magistrate, and the police or the prosecution then in court will just have to prove that you're in contravention of any of the bail conditions. And if it is found that you are in fact in contravention of any of the bail conditions, the court will then revoke that bail and you'll have to go to prison and wait for your trial there. Now, there have been reported sightings of Longwe in and around Johannesburg. Well, on the face of it, those sightings are not important because if they fall outside the hours of 6 p.m. and 6 a.m., well, there's no problem with that. It's not in violation of any of his bail conditions. But there have been other sightings where he has been sighted in and around Deep Kloof, way beyond 6 p.m. Remember, he must be 6 a.m. The conditions are 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. In other words, he cannot be seen during the hours of the night. So he has been seen in some places in and around Deep Kloof, way beyond, his 6 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m. He has been seen around there. So on the face of it, that is a violation of one of his stringent bail conditions. And on that strength alone, his bail can be revoked and he can be sent back to prison. So because of these many sightings, during these hours when he should not be, away from his home in Deep Kloof, it would appear that he is then in contravention of at least one of those bail conditions. There's also talk, or we are also hearing on social media that, Longa Twala is not really off drugs, so that if he's still on drugs while he's, on bail, and one of his bail conditions being that he must not touch drugs, if he can be tested If a random test can be done on him, he's likely to have that bail revoked and he'll be sent to prison, and that will be the end of it. They have to sit it out until his housebreaking housebreaking trial comes before court, and we'll see what happens to that. So there you have it. There's that possibility that he's in contravention of his bail conditions and may well be arrested. It depends. It will depend a lot on the explanation if he's going to succeed this time, because they're going to take him before the same Randburg magistrates court. And you see, the first time the explanation was not very plausible. It was also a very shaky explanation. But I think the magistrate gave him the benefit of the doubt and said, okay, if this is what you are saying, I'll take it for what it is. Now, if, for instance, he is now in contravention of his bail conditions, this is repeat offending, and courts don't take very kindly to repeat offenders, because if, for instance, he's seen to be in and around Soweto or Deep Kloof after 6 p.m., sometimes at about 9 p.m., and so on and so forth, the court is likely to revoke that bail. Another condition that he might well fall foul of is the condition that he might be tested for drugs at any given time. It is not very clear what sort of drugs Longwe uses, but those who know him will tell you that he has touched almost every other drug out there in the drug market. And if he is found in contravention of that particular condition, that will be a sure, go to jail ticket for him. He will certainly be found in contravention of that particular bail condition, and he'll go to jail. So that is what I have for you for this midday edition. Longwe Twala's bail conditions are just hanging by a thread, and perhaps it's only a matter of time before those who are supposed to, play an oversight role over him, get wind of all this. And should they do that, oh, that will be a sad day for Longwe. He will just have to go back to jail and, sit out whatever time he'll have to sit out in jail until the trial comes to an end. Having said that, let me thank you for all the views that I'm seeing. And let me also thank you for all the subscriptions that I'm seeing. Please don't skip those adverts. As we're moving forward, the Daily Fix is going to diversify. We will have to diversify. You see, we are not going to be, this channel is not going to establish itself as a Senzo Meyiwa channel. There are other topics of interest for South Africans, I'm sure. The Jocelyn Smith case comes to mind. There are so many other issues which we must look into and make the Daily Fix, and you can make it possible. Make the Daily Fix, an unpredictable, interesting, and thought-provoking channel that will always, surprise you with whatever it has for you on any particular day. So we will diversify and touch on other topics and move away from the Meyiwa trial. But essentially, I am aware that most of my viewers are very interested in what is happening in and around the Meyiwa matter. So I'm not going to leave in the lashes as far as that is concerned. I'll give you as much as I can possibly get my hands on. Having said that, please have a nice day and thank you very much.